What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my YouTube channel here. Today I'm going to be reviewing God of War, the new one. Um, as you guys know, I like to cover lots of aspects of the game. I like to judge the game as a whole. I have specific criteria I judge a game by, i.e. graphics, design, lore, characters, gameplay, mechanics, campaign or lack thereof, replay value, etc. I'm going to try to cover a good amount of stuff in this video. In the background, you'll just see some generic, like, start of the game, God of War gameplay, and let's just jump into it. God of War, PlayStation exclusive. When it was announced, I was actually really excited for this game. It's one of those rare games that actually completely exceeded my expectations. This game is a sort of open world, a little bit of restrictions there, but a mostly open world. Uh, Looks great. It's pretty hard to find a better looking game than God of War. It has a really cool lore, as in you're now playing through Norse mythology as opposed to the older games where you're playing through Greek mythology. So lots of cool characters in there. There is no multiplayer, which, I mean, it's fine. Like, I don't really care about the multiplayer too much as long as the rest of the game delivers, and this game does deliver and then some. This game is a standalone game, as in a lot of games that come out nowadays are not this good. This is a rarely good game. Like, you hardly find any games that are this good, honestly, ever made. This game is an excellent game, and I'm going to jump into some of the details here as we get going. I'm going to start out with the most important part, or at least one of the most important parts in every game, and that's the gameplay. This game is not quite as gory and violent as the old games, but still some really intense action in there. And the way you have Kratos' abilities and his weaponry mixed with Atreus blends like it's just a beautiful, beautiful battle in pretty much every fight you get into. Even on easier difficulties, the enemies are pretty much always formidable, so if you're not remotely competent, you will not do too well against enemies in the game. It's a really well blended combat system, and it brings it back down to earth. There was a lot of like jumping and flying around in the old God of Wars, and not that that's a bad thing, but just how this game runs and functions within the combat style is bloody fantastic in my opinion. I have no criticisms of the actual combat in the game. The only actually criticism I have of the game in general is lack of good boss battles, as in there are some fantastic boss battles in this game, but probably about half of the boss battles you have in this game is fighting a different version of the same troll over and over again. But I mean, other than that, I literally have no criticism of this game. It's put together quite beautifully. And I will talk about one more thing in this game before I wrap it up here. I'm going to talk about the actual main characters. Kratos, obviously, anyone who's played God of War knows who Kratos is, and they introduce Kratos' son in this game. His name is Atreus. The premise of the game is Atreus and Kratos are traveling to spread Atreus' mother, Kratos' wife's ashes on the highest peak in the realm. Pretty chivalrous act, if you ask me. They're traveling to do that, and along the way, they pretty much learn how to become father and son, because up until that point, they didn't spend much time together, and to be honest, Kratos was kind of a bad father. But they travel. Both characters are written and developed extremely well. Both characters are voice acted extremely well, so you can actually buy into what's happening. So top to bottom, it's one of the better stories ever made in a video game, in my opinion. So I really, really appreciate the time the developers spent on this game. And I forgot to mention this at the start of my video, but all games I review, I rate them on a scale of 0 to 100. 0 being the absolute worst, 100 being the absolute best. This game, top to bottom, comes out at a 99 rating, in my opinion. Like I said, there was only one tiny critique I had. I would highly recommend playing this game. One of the best games I've ever played. Anyways, that's going to be the end of this video. Remember, rate the video, comment the video, tell me what you like, tell me what you don't like, subscribe if you want to see more videos. I'd love to have you subscribe. If you want to share it, please go ahead. I'd love to hear in the comments if you want me to cover a specific game or movie. I'm open to ideas. I'll talk about pretty much anything if you suggest it. And I appreciate the view. See ya.